Okay, so here we are live once again with another Masters of the Universe Origins unboxing, and this is the Turtles of Grayskull Ram Man figure. This is probably going to be my last Turtles of Grayskull unboxing. It's been a while since I've done one, and this is one that I picked up on clearance a while back when they first put them on clearance over at Walmart. I got, a couple extra Beast Man figures and some other figures that I found when they were marked down. I got Rouge Haunts is here and says, I really miss your live streams. Well, you're here for this one, so that's cool. So yeah, like I noticed you hadn't been around lately. So but yeah, good to see you. Says, hi Dad. Do you know something I don't know? Look, if that's the case, your mom never said anything to me about it, and I don't even know who she is, so that's on her. But yeah, so yeah, I picked up a couple of extra ones for like various figures, I think I got like an extra Tila. Tila's really good for parts. Got an extra Casey Jones, I think, when they started getting marked down. But extra Skeletor. But this is the one that I hadn't gotten around to buying him yet. So this is like kind of the one that I missed out on previously, and I'm like, well, he's $8 now, so I might as well buy him. So here's the artwork on the back. We got Shredder, the Shredder slime pit. We got Krang is captured He-Man. Rouge Haunt says, I love your stream so much. Well, thank you. It's always nice to see you. Skeletor, the regular version of Skeletor, not a Turtles of Grayskull Skeletor, and the mutated Ram Man leaping out of the slime pit, the ooze pit, I should say. And like I said, they'd replaced the skull with a big old Shredder helmet. So, and you can see it does say on the front that he's the mutated battering ram. And it says on the back here, Ram Man did not hear his assailant's attack. It was as if the wind suddenly choked him out. He awoke covered in ooze and opened his mouth to speak, only to hear a bah come out of his mouth. He knew that he had all he knew was he had a master, and his name was Krang. So yeah, like it made him into a literal Ram Man with, see the ram horns and everything like that. Yeah, the ram imagery is something that's prevalent in Masters of the Universe. Of course, Skeletor has his Havoc staff with the ram skull, and the main heroic vehicle in the first wave was the Battle Ram, and you can see like ram imagery like here and there on even like Tila's breastplate kind of looks like ram horns. So yeah, well, there's a lot of different ram imagery in Masters of the Universe, and I like to think in hindsight it's because of the Havoc staff, because on the Masters of the Universe Revelations cartoon they had lots of different gods, the 3 different gods, and Havoc was one of them. So it's probably in reference to Havoc. I'm pretty sure that I've read this comic book before. Wait a minute. You know what? I don't think I have, because I don't have this Raphael. And I opened up Beast Man, but I don't think I read the comic. Shredder, I don't think I read. Let's go and read it real quick. All right, so his name is He-Man, it starts out. And did you eat today? Yeah, I ate today. I eat pretty much every day. I had some McDonald's earlier, and I had some tuna fish sandwiches a couple of minutes ago. So, and some Reese's peanut butter cups. Fabulous secret powers were revealed to him the day he held off his magic sword and said, "By the power of Grayskull!" And that shows him with Battle Cat. I have the power! He-Man. So this is Man-at-Arms telling the tale. And that's how he became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Whoa! How much longer are we going to sit around doing nothing? Dude, I'm upgrading our cybernetic life form into an entirely new cybernetic life form. It's gonna take me some time. Raph, can you please ease up? Donnie really needs to focus. No, Leo, I won't back off. We're sitting here polishing our shells. Krang is out there making Mouser monsters. Which is why we need to practice patience, like Master Splinter says. Oh, please, please tell me what Master Splinter always says, if I haven't heard it a million times already. Well, if you listen to him once in a while, I wouldn't have to remind you what he always says. You ever think about that? And there's Tila, who says, you. And I think we all know who that's going to be, don't we? Yeah, it's Beast Man. And she trips him up. And bruh, we got like a situation here. Don't darken our doorstep, monster, she says, and there's, some onomatopoeia there. And then Man-at-Arms says, Beastman, quickly, Tila, throw him in a cell. And Tila says, consider yourself lucky, my father is merciful. Arrgh. And then Donatello says, yikes, remind me to stay on Tila's good side. And then Man-at-Arms and Tila are talking, a bit bold even for you, Beastman. Taken so easily, almost as if you intended to be captured. What's your game? We swept the entire palace. He came alone. I know where He-Man is. You heard me. I can help you find him. So, it began when Skeletor summoned myself, Merman, Trapjaw, and Faker to the altar room. He discovered a new power entering our universe, called it to Eternia, captured it before it could merge with the power of Grayskull. The power was really a bridge to another universe, and it landed with an explosion in the swamp of Gangoon. There we found the intruders muttering to each other about letting the turtles escape. They had something, however, something Skeletor said that is the key to defeating He-Man once and for all. The one named Krang called it mutagen. Oh no, the ooze. Nothing good ever comes from ooze. I don't know. I kind of like to... I don't know. It's kind of fun to say ooze. Sorry, Michelangelo's caption there is an orange. That made it a little hard to read. Together, Skeletor and Krang created a portal connecting Dimension X to Eternia. Then they began their aligned goal. Skeletor would help Krang conquer the planet if Krang helped Skeletor conquer Eternia. Rushant says, that voice, bruh. Well, I like to do the voices. It's, that's part of the fun with these. Despite Skeletor's promises, I never trusted the outsiders. Those who did never returned from the swamp of Gangoon. But I did get a closer look, and I saw a few friends of yours, Ram Man. I'm sorry. I saw a few friends of yours, Ram Man, Moss Man, and He-Man. And there's He-Man when he got turned into an evil mutant. I knew I was next. They would come for me. No place was safe. No place but one. The home of the only warriors capable of ridding Eternia of these invaders. The Eternian Palace. So he goes to meet up with the heroic warriors. So you see, we are on the same side in this battle. We would be foolish to trust him, Father. I agree. There's truth in the story. But still, how to sneak in undetected? Well, that's where we come in. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Raphael. That's where we come in. The art of the ninja is becoming one with the shadows. I fear he underestimated the sneakiness. I'm going to stay behind and finish the Project Metal Botto Duncan. With Duncan, sorry. There's a hidden tracker in Beastman's armor. You guys know what to do. Yup, dance off and save the universe. Mikey, I swear, one more movie reference. Beastman led the heroes through the maze of tunnels underneath Eternia, Down and down they crawled. See, there we go. This is definitely a trap, right? Definitely. Finally, they reached their destination. Welcome to your doom, turtles! Well done, Beastman. Once again, you've proven your loyalty and will be well rewarded. Betrayal! I'm shocked. Just shocked. Now then, turtles, it's time to be rid of you once and for all. Our mutants are just the beginning. Not really, though. Your mutated goon squad, these jokers are nothing we can't handle. Raph, I don't think that's the reveal he had in mind. And then we see evil mutant He-Man. Is that He-Man? Huh, I always imagined him being a little less rabid. Roar! And then Leonardo says, heads up, dude. No way. Not that way, Ram bro. Hey, Ram man. So my problem with this is like with these comics, the Turtles and Grayskull specifically, is it seems like it's produced for a larger size than it actually is. So that makes the artwork look kind of tiny on these mini comics pages, and sometimes it's a little hard for me to tell what's going on. I was hoping they were going to get reprinted when they did the Turtles of Grayskull trade paperback, but according to something I read on Facebook today, that's not going to be the case, unfortunately. They've been brainwashed. Yep, sounds like the ooze. Duck and dodge, dudes. They're too strong. Our weapons have no effect. And then Krang says, yes, in mere moments we will dine on turtle soup. And then, do not be so certain, Krang. Roboto? Metalhead? Both and neither. I am Metalboto. Quickly, my friends. Now's your chance to escape. And then Tila says, what about you? And then Donatello says, Metalboto can handle it. I've got the ooze. And then somebody in the Talon Fighter, I'm guessing Man-at-Arms, says, it's now or never. No! I can't even tell what villain that is. That's Krang, I think. No! So, we need to reverse engineer the ooze. Then we can heal He-Man. The rest, He-Man and the rest. The only problem is, we don't have enough time. What do we do? Whenever we don't know what to do, we meditate on the problem in front of us. We focus, and as soon the answer will replace the question. It's always like Leo to say what Master Splinter teaches us. I wish he were here right now. If you need answers, the unknown mysteries, there's only one logical place to look next. Castle Grayskull. And then Michelangelo says, did anyone not see the creepy castle with a skeleton head? Womp womp. Yeah, Rouge Haunt says, your voice was hilarious. Well, thank you. Yeah, sorry those comics got read out of order, but I've read them in the order that I got them in. But I think we've read them all now, right? I think so. So anyway, Ram Man comes with 2 accessories, which should be familiar to those who had the original, the deluxe Ram Man figure, which is he comes with a double-bladed axe, which is new to the Origins line, and he comes with the classic style Ram Man axe, like the original version came with, and these can both attach together to become one weapon. And then we have Ram Man himself, who looks to reuse some of those pieces from the original Ram Man figure, but also has a lot of unique pieces on his own. So we're going to get into that. Let me go ahead and get these snaps off, these rubber, use my snips to get the rubber tabs off of here. There we go. I think that's all of them. It doesn't seem like there's one around his torso or around his neck or anything like that. Just around the wrists and around the ankles. So it should come right out after this. And anybody who's familiar with the original Ram Man figure, or even the first Origins figure, or really any version of Ram Man, can see there's a lot of elements of the classic Ram Man that are on here. He's got those green pants with that kind of tubular texture to them, supposed to look kind of like springs. And he's got new feet, which are like cloven hooves. That's pretty crazy. And I believe these arms are reused from the previous Origins Ram Man. I accidentally popped the arm out. He does come apart like like typical Masters of the Universe Origins figures do. In fact, let's go ahead and just take them all apart, because I want to have a look at some of the aspects of this character. And as I pointed out before, he's literally a Ram Man. So he's got like a little Billy Goat kind of goatee there. He's got pointy ears, and he's got ram horns. Let's see. And then there's some little tabs on the side that hold this armor on. So I'm going to pull that open. And then we can see what the torso looks like underneath. And I think this is probably the same torso that they use on some of the WWE Superstars figures to, when it's supposed to be like a figure with a little bit more of a belly. Although I haven't opened any of those up yet. I do have Cactus Jack, which I think uses that particular torso. So let's go ahead and take it apart at the waist. And he's got like, you can see they almost look like wrestling trunks underneath. So maybe that's exactly what it is. And then this whole loincloth skirt type piece is removable. So like I said, and I think that the thighs and the arms are reused from the original Origins Ram Man, and probably like the upper part of the calves, not the actual, like, you see where it's like fur, got kind of fur texture there. That's new. And like I said, it's got those sort of cloven hooves on there. Again, he's a Ram Man, literally, like the animal, the ram. So that's the construction of this figure. So it's pretty interesting how they got him put together like that. So let's go ahead and put them all back together. Oh, and there is some kind of green veins painted onto the translucent purple plastic that represents his skin. And I believe he's supposed to be glowing from the mutagen. You probably remember that the original Ninja Turtles mutagen ooze was kind of a purplish pinkish color, and that's the same color that they made him. So I believe it's supposed to be like how when you see a figure done of the like a character that's been in the slime pit, like when you see the slime pit He-Man that they do oftentimes as a variant, they mold it in translucent green plastic, so he looks slimy. Well, in this it's supposed to be like they combine the horde slime with the ooze, and that's what makes it purple. So anyway, go ahead and put his head back on. Seems like I got the armor on crooked or something. There, I think I got it on right now. I think I got it on right now. So let's go ahead and pop his head back on. All right, and we can see that Ram Man has one gripping hand and one hand that is a solid fist, but has a hole drilled in it. So obviously, when you put his weapons in his hands, the double-bladed axe is supposed to go in the hand that's more of a gripping hand, and the original style axe is supposed to go in the hand that's like just got a hole in it. So we can go ahead and put that in there. Now that's how the original Ram Man figure was. It just had a hole where it pegged in like that. And I think that both of his arms were set up like that. Rouge Hans asks, "Do you love Christmas?" Oh yeah, I love Christmas. I like while we're talking about Masters of the Universe figures, the first Masters of the Universe figures I ever got for Christmas that year. I got He-Man, Battle Cat, Skeletor, and Castle Grayskull. And that was pretty awesome. And my Aunt Ree, that's my great aunt, that's my grandfather's sister, she gave me some Christmas money, and the first the first Masters of the Universe figure that I bought with my own money that I picked out for myself was Ram Man, and it was also probably my first case of buyer's remorse when it comes to an action figure, because I realized Ram Man probably wasn't the coolest Masters of the Universe figure, and I probably should have got, Beast Man or Merman or really any other character. The next one I got was Faker. I was much happier with Faker. Anyway, let's so there he is with both of his weapons. Let's go ahead and talk about his articulation somewhat. So the head should, in theory, rotate all the way around, but it's got this kind of raised gorget you can see there. So it kind of bumps into that. Of course, the original Ram Man didn't have any, like the vintage one from the 80s, didn't have any sort of, did I really put Grayskull? Did I miss the G there? I don't know. Sometimes it's weird how it types, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there right now. I'm going to fix that. All right. So, Ram Man, the original Ram Man, had like 2 points of articulation. They were both at his arms, and they didn't even move like regular action figure arms. They just moved back and forth like that. So really, we should just be glad Ram Man can move his head at all. He can kind of tilt his head physically from side to side, look up about that far, look down about that far. Of course, the arms rotate all the way around the shoulders, but they're going to bump into these big shoulder pieces. So that's going to kind of hinder the motion of it somewhat. And as you saw before, it's pretty easy for them to actually get bumped out of the joint because of that. So be careful with that. He's got a single joint of articulation at the elbow, bends about that far, and rotates all the way around, although it does rotate at somewhat of an angle. The wrists rotate all the way around and have a horizontal hinge that moves back and forth. I believe that these hands, well, no, they're not. I thought they might have been the same hands that we're using on Krang. And I have an extra Krang hand over here. But no, Krang actually had 5 fingers and a thumb. I was thinking he might have had 2 fingers and a thumb. But no. So he's got kind of almost like Ninja Turtle type hands in a way. Like, well, the Ninja Turtles kind of like gained fingers. Turtles don't really have fingers. But they got like, they wound up getting 2 fingers and a thumb. Yeah, it's that guy again. How you doing, Lone Dragon? Good to see you. So yeah, he actually lost some fingers. The fingers, I guess, kind of melted together and became like Ninja Turtle hands. So Ram Man can rotate all the way around at the waist, and he can't kick up very far because he's got that rubber skirt piece on there. It would have a little more motion except for that. And then like he does have a single joint of articulation at the knee that bends about that far. And then that rotates all the way around. It's at a bit of an angle, like you would expect. And then he's got a boot cut, so the leg rotates all around mid-calf. And then the hooves, he's got hooves, folks. They point down about that far, point up about that far. And those rotate all the way around where the hoof meets the foot. So I'm kind of wondering how much of a problem I'm going to have getting this guy to stand up, since he's got cloven hooves. And he does have something, I don't think that the original Origins Ram Man figure had this, but he's got like a thing on his back, so you can store some weapons back there. So let's go ahead and, since this is the easiest one to get out of the hand, we'll try this one. And there he is, storing the axe on his back. Now, I think probably the best way to do that would be to take both weapons out of his hands and put them together back there. And Lone Dragon says, man, if he was brown or gray instead of that hideous purple, I'd have been all over that. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could paint him. But like I said, it kind of makes sense that he's this weird purple, in that, like, it's, he's supposed to be mutated by the ooze, which has been mixed together with the horde slime. So, if you think about, like, the Slime Pit He-Man figures, those are usually in like a translucent green plastic, so it looks like the green slime, but the ooze is purple, so that's why he's like a translucent purple. Same with He-Man in this form, the mutated He-Man, and Mossman still is green, but I'm going to chalk that up to him just being a plant, so but anyway, he's a pretty cool figure, but he's definitely like a very niche sort of figure. You know what I mean? Not everybody's gonna want a mutated Ram Man. And in fact, like I said, like I kind of sat on this guy for a while. He was at my Walmart for the longest time, and when I finally picked him up, it was because I noticed it was marked down. Well, I'm pretty sure the ooze that came with the original toys was purple, wasn't it? So I know the ectoplasm that came with uh, the Ghostbusters, that was purple. So I was thinking the Ninja Turtles one was too. I think there's like a mutagen ooze and a retro mutagen ooze. They're different colors, I think. So let me look it up. I'll just real quick. Playmates mutagen. Those mutagen man, but that's not going to help me. I need the actual mutagen, like the old school mutagen. See what color it was. See, like So like it looks like it came in both foot ooze, retro mutagen foot ooze. That was the purple one, and then there was this regular retro mutagen ooze. Honestly, like retro mutagen ooze should be the stuff that that mutants you, right? But yeah, there was a purple version. There was a green version and a purple version. So I guess they're going off of the purple version with this one because, obviously the slime's green. The slime is always green, but they've got, mutagen that's purple. So, sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's green. I don't know. I don't know what the logic is. I don't know how they came up with it. But if it was me, if I was in charge, if I was the one making these decisions, I would make it so that the ooze, the regular mutagen ooze, the stuff that turned the Splinter and the Turtles into, mutants, that would be the green stuff. And the stuff that Shredder invents or Krang invents or whoever invents it to demutagenize, the boys and Shredder, to turn them back into normal turtles and or a normal human being or normal rat, depending on what continuity you're going with. That would be the stuff I would make purple. But in this one, the ooze is just purple. That's how it goes. That's just in Turtles of Grayskull. That's how it works. So yeah, that's why he's purple. Maybe green would have been better. I don't know, but if they'd have just had him just be like a mutant and made it some kind of more of a neutral color, like Lone Dragon says, brown or gray, like that would have made more sense as far as because I mean the other mutant characters, they just kind of look normal colored. You don't have like a translucent green Raphael or a translucent green Rocksteady or a translucent purple Rocksteady or whatever. Like he just looks kind of like a normal turtle, but bigger and bipedal. And Rocksteady just looks like a normal rhinoceros, but more bipedal. It's like they're colored the same, is what I'm saying. But anyway, he's still a pretty cool figure, and I get why they made him purple. Like, but that was something that I think I'd mentioned this in the He-Man unboxing, the evil mutant He-Man, is when I first saw it, I was just kind of like, I don't really get this. And then when I put some thought into it, then I kind of was like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. I kind of like, I'm kind of digging this now. But kind of like also like I have my own headcanon explanation as to why the Who Went Once Will Be Orange. I don't know who did. But I had my own kind of fan theory idea as to why the Turtles had those removable shell shields in this line, which is when they went to Eternia, that the mystical energy fields on the planet, like weird magic stuff, affected the boys and mutated them a little bit further than what they were on Earth, and that's why they're also more pumped up and muscular and He-Man shaped. And it also kind of reduced their shells to these kind of vestigial sort of plates on their back, and they miss having their shells. It was like they lost a part of their body, and it was kind of traumatic for them. So Donatello and Men at Arms kind of cooked up the shell shields so that it was like a prosthetic shell, and they could also take it off and use it as a shield if they wanted to. Lone Dragon asks, is that a Jason Bateman shirt? Only if like you're State Farm and you're confused about that. That was State Farm, right? That did that insurance commercial where they mixed up Bateman and Batman. I guess it's Patrick Bateman if you count Christian Bale. He played both Patrick Bateman and Batman. So I remember when he first got cast as Batman, and somebody asked me if I thought he'd make a good Batman, and I'm like, well, you saw American Psycho, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, do you see Equilibrium? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. Imagine that instead of being like leading a double life as like a serial killer, Patrick Bateman's leading a double life as the guy from Equilibrium. That's pretty much Batman right there. That's it. That works. But yeah, I got this one at Five Below. I love it when I find a shirt at Five Below that I can actually fit into. Lone Dragon says there's clearly a letter in between the T and the M on that shirt. Well, I don't know. I've got sloppy handwriting, I guess. I'm pretty sure that that's just an M, though. I'm pretty sure that it's just like T M. I think that's what that is. So yeah, but yeah, it's got the Batmobile on it, which is really cool. So, and it's a very 90s looking shirt. That was the thing I liked about it, is like, because Batman the animated series came out in the 90s, so make it a 90s looking shirt. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to get the rest of my NECA Ninja Turtles out and take some pictures with them. I've had Raphael out for the longest time, and the rest of the boys are in the bin that I keep my Ninja Turtles figures in. So I probably should like maybe get a little shelf for them or something. So the Jason Bateman mobile. Dude, if Bateman don't have his own mobile at this point, I think he's living his life the wrong way. Like, Man, I should probably watch Arrested Development again sometime soon. It's been a while since I've seen that show. But yeah, like like Horrible Bosses. His boss was Kevin Spacey, so like why is Bateman fighting Lex Luthor in that? They should have got like one of the Joker actors to, and they did have the Penguin playing the other guy's boss. Not my favorite Penguin, but still a Penguin. But anyway, I guess that's it for Ram Man. There's not a whole lot else to say about him, and I've already talked about this figure for 30 minutes. Of course, part of that was reading a comic book, so anyway, I don't know exactly what I'm going to open up next, because I know that sometime later today, I'm supposed to get my package from Big Bad Toy Store in it, and that's going to have one more G.I. Joe figure. I got a lot of G.I. Joe coming up, and it's going to have the 3 Super 7 Reaction Plus monsters with the first wave of those. Oh, Ozark. Yeah, that's another show that I've been meaning to watch. Like one of the places where I work, actually, they use that place for sets. And I was never there when it happened. I usually just worked there like kind of overnight. But apparently they'd close off sections of it. Was actually a Serta mattress factory, and they'd close off sections of it and film Ozark there. So because apparently they just had a deal where like they could use that building for sets or whatever. So it'd be fun to watch it again and be like, oh yeah, I remember that place. I remember walking by there, kind of thing. Kind of like how on Stranger Things, the Star Court was actually the mall that I went to when I was a kid. That was Gwinnett Place Mall, which was mostly abandoned by that point even. And I think it's like entirely abandoned now. I think there's like a couple of stores that are like where the anchor stores are, but the main section of the mall is just completely closed off. and empty. There's nothing left there now. But yeah, seeing the Star Court on Stranger Things was great for me because I'm like, it's like seeing my old mall that I went to when I was a kid, like how it was in its prime. So if you want to see the mall where I hung out at when I was a kid, it's just watch that season of Stranger Things again. So, but anyway, yeah, that's it for Ram Man. Like I said, I got more cool stuff coming up, but I don't know exactly when I'm going to open yet. We're probably about to be getting into some the little town. Lone Dragon says the little town from that movie. What About Bob is near here, and it's pretty dead. So yeah, I'll have to look into that because I like that movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I really liked it back in the day. Like I think last time I saw it was like on VHS. It was so long ago, but I'm a big Bill Murray fan, so like I would like to watch that one again. I should probably watch that one again soon. So anyway, but please make sure that you like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this figure. YouTube likes it when I say like and subscribe, so I like to say like and subscribe. And then they pump this video out there to more people and gets it out there in the algorithm. And more people watch it and more people like and subscribe. And then they hear me say like and subscribe. And YouTube pushes out even more people. This channel is growing, believe it or not. We are getting more subscribers day by day. And eventually, you know, this will be like a pretty big channel, and you guys can say that you were there when it was all starting out, and like he had like 600 subscribers, 400 subscribers, 200. Some of you guys have been around since the very beginning, so always good. As Rouge Hunt says, love this purple figure, so it's nice that somebody does. But yeah, I do have more He-Man on the way. I've got the Masterverse Teela and the Masterverse, the new Eternia Teela and the new Eternia Roboto. And we've got all the Thundercats, all the Masters Universe Thundercats crossover figures that I have. Because I already opened Lion-O and I already opened Mumra. Mumra was part of Halloween. But I've got Chitara, I've got Panthro, I've got Tigra, and I've got the Thundercats versions of He-Man and Battle Cat. So that's pretty cool. And I've got in the algorithm should be the title of a Weird Al Yankovic album. It totally should. But yeah, the Big Bad Toy Store order I'm supposed to get in tomorrow. It's going to have the Super 7 monsters and the Desert Scorpion from G.I. Joe and the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures Slash. So we've got more Ninja Turtles on the way too. So I might open up that next. Who knows? But yeah, we got a lot of He-Man and I got the American Werewolf in London NECA figure. That was one I actually bought that one on Halloween Day, and I was like, man, it's a shame that they didn't have this at Walmart earlier, because I could have done that as one of my Halloween figures. But it's still a really cool figure, so I'm looking forward to talking about that. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. You won't want to miss it. Make sure you like and subscribe. That's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We will talk to you next time. Bye.